Welcome. So what I have in store for you is we have a set of parallel lines. Now the parallel lines do not extend. So a lot of times when I see a figure and we know that two lines are parallel, a lot of times I like to extend them. So remember that these lines are going to extend indefinitely. And what I have is I have two relationships here. I have I have a set of angles on, so actually I'm sorry, not two relationships. Let's look at two different transversals. I have a transversal here, and I have a transversal here. Now remember, every single time you have parallel lines in a transversal, you have relationships, right? Angle relationships. So the two relationships I'm looking at is I have these two angles, which are related to this transversal and the two parallel lines. And then I have these two angles, which are related to this transversal and the parallel lines. So I'm going to want to look at each relationship separately. So to do that, because I can, I'm just going to erase this transversal and kind of totally forget about it right there. And what I see is I have now a set of parallel lines and a transversal. Forget about these two sides. Let's just look at how are these two angles related to each other, related to the parallel lines as well as the transversal. And what I notice is both of these angles are interior of the parallel lines. They're both inside the parallel lines, and they're on opposite sides of the transversal. Therefore, these are alternate interior angles. And I write alternate interior angles to help me remind myself that, all right, alternate interior angles are equal to one another. So therefore, I can write an equation, 2x is equal to 106. Now, to solve for x, I'll divide by 2, x equals 53. Now, let's forget about that angle relationship. And let's go back to this one, because now we already solved for x. Now let's see, how are these two angles related to each other? Forget about that other transversal. Forget about, we already solved for x, or even forget they're there. Sometimes I use a piece of paper to cover it up so I can just focus on the relationships of two angles on one transversal at a time. So these two, I can see that, all right, these two angles are both interior, just like the last example. But now, instead of being on alternating sides, they're on the same side. And therefore, since they're both interior but on the same side, they're what we call same side interior. And only one set of interior angles are equal to each other. Those are alternate interior. So same side interior are what we call supplementary. And if they're supplementary, that means they add up to 180. So I can say 5y plus 110 equals 180. Now I subtract 110 on both sides, and I get 5y equals 70. Divide by 5, y equals 14. Okay, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you use angle relationships of alternate interior and same side interior to solve for your missing variables. Thanks.